Breaking news in the Bronx. This is Bronx Fan Central.
Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever seen an elite player blame the cold for hitting 50% below the league average? Because that's happening right now, here, on your team. And the worst part, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's going on with this Yankees roster. My name is Ryan Carter, and today we're going to talk about something a lot of people are ignoring, but that could change the entire direction of this season before you even realize it. Stay here. You already know something is off. You don't need a spreadsheet full of stats to feel it. You watch every game. You see the at-bats. You see the swings that aren't connecting. You see a lineup that's supposed to be dangerous, and somehow it's not. The Yankees have real problems right now. Not early season noise problems, real problems. And the frustrating part, some guys in that clubhouse are already making excuses. April is almost over. Tampa Bay is the next opponent. That series in a closed stadium, climate-controlled, no wind, no cold. That's where we find out who's really capable this year. I followed this team long enough to know the difference between a slow start and a structural problem. This feels structural. When I look at this offense right now, Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are doing their jobs. That's it. Two guys. On a roster built to compete in the AL East, where Baltimore Orioles are hungry, where Tampa Bay Rays never go away. Two guys carrying the load is not a plan. What kills me is we already knew coming into this season that depth was going to matter. We talked about it all off-season, and here we are, just weeks later, with the middle of this lineup completely lost. I'm not panicking, but I'm paying very close attention. Very close. The numbers for Jazz Chisholm Jr. right now are genuinely alarming. His WRC plus is around 54. For reference, the league average is 100. That means Jazz is producing roughly half the offensive value of an average MLB hitter. That's not a slump. That's a collapse. What makes it more concerning is the type of drop. It's not just that he's not hitting home runs. His hard contact rate is down. His barrel percentage is down. The overall quality of contact has fallen off a cliff. He's still stealing bases, still moving well on the bases, but stolen bases don't score runs on their own. And then he said, publicly, in front of reporters, that the April cold is affecting his mechanics. That comment became the story immediately, and not in a good way. You heard that, right? The cold. Jazz Chisholm, a professional athlete, one of the most athletic players on this roster, is telling you that the temperature in New York is the reason he's hitting like a replacement-level player. Think about that for a second. Every hitter in the AL East deals with April weather. The Boston Red Sox deal with it. The Orioles deal with it. Nobody else is posting a WRC plus of 54 and pointing at the thermometer. If you're a Yankees fan who's been defending Jazz all month, this is the moment you have to ask yourself, is this really about the weather, or have opposing pitchers already figured him out? The situation at third base adds another layer to the problem. Brian McMahon came over from Colorado with a reputation as a reliable infielder who could bring some offensive power. So far, that power hasn't shown up. He hasn't hit a ball over 90 meters in a while, and at Yankee Stadium, with that short porch, that's a number that should be much easier to reach. McMahon isn't the only issue, but he represents a pattern. The Yankees have multiple contributors underperforming at the same time. When it's one guy, you wait it out. When it's three or four at once, you've got a collective lineup problem. That's the backdrop for the trade rumors that have started to circulate. Munetaka Murakami, the Japanese infielder, has come up in discussions. The reported package would involve pitching prospect Elmer Rodriguez Corona and outfield prospect Spencer Jones. It's early, but the fact these conversations are happening already tells you something about how the front office views the current situation. Here's my stance on Spencer Jones, and I know this won't be popular with some of you. Jones is struggling with strikeouts in AAA right now. That's real, but selling a prospect at his lowest value, just because the major league team is struggling in April, is exactly the kind of panic move that comes back to haunt organizations. The Yankees have made that mistake before, trading depth under pressure, and watching that depth turn into a star somewhere else. Murakami is an interesting name, an elite hitter in Japan, proven at the highest level of his league, but the translation to MLB is never guaranteed. My honest opinion, If the Yankees move Jones right now, at this moment, they better be sure, because there's no undoing that. Meanwhile, Jason Dominguez continues to gain momentum within the organization's internal hierarchy. While Jones has struggled with contact in AAA, Dominguez has been forcing the issue. That shift matters, not just in prospect rankings, but in how the front office evaluates what they actually have. If Dominguez emerges as the real answer in the outfield, the calculation on Jones changes. He becomes more tradable or more expendable, depending on how you see it. The AL East doesn't pause for internal development timelines. Baltimore built a roster that can compete now. Tampa Bay, as always, finds ways to stay relevant. Boston is investing. Brian Cashman and the Yankees front office are at a decision point. The wait-and-see approach has a deadline, and it's coming fast. So this is what you're watching this week in Tampa. Closed stadium, controlled environment, no cold, no wind, no excuses. If Jazz Chisholm walks into that stadium and looks like the same hitter we've been seeing, weak contact, empty at bats, then you have your answer. The weather was never the problem. And if McMahon doesn't find anything either, then this front office has a real decision to make. Not next month, not at the trade deadline. Now, what do you think? Is this team one piece away, or does the problem go deeper than that? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one.